First time saying all praise is glory and honor to Yahweh Bashim Shai Bashim Gakudash. And the Daban to elders, apostle, and teacher, great male son from my learned the truth, and I say Shalom to the whole full elect of Israel. And I'm gonna share this on the topic of how going to a seminary school, I think that's the name of it, seminary school or theology school, doesn't give you, authority or I guess the right to dictate who has authority over the Bible. In other words, you don't know the scriptures just because you go to a seminary school. Now, when you go into our history, kings had to learn the scriptures. They had to learn the law. They had to be taught. Like being taught the Bible was always a thing. But you had the Lord that put the Spirit on men to teach the Bible. It's not like you just go to a school and then the school is the requirement. The Lord dealing with you is a requirement to actually understand scriptures. Not just kings, obviously all of our people, right? But once again, you had to have somebody to teach them, and what you had to have the right man to teach the people. Once again, not just anybody. This is 2 Timothy 3:16. Yeah, all scripture is given by inspiration of Yahweh. Now, give me a second. I'm going to look up the word inspiration just out of curiosity. Inspired by Yahweh. Go into the word to breathe, to blow of the wind, and what I know I know there place in Genesis that really comes to mind when it talks about how the Lord well there's another one Ezekiel going into breath. Let's see if it's gonna pull it up here. This goes into wind. But I know in those two verses, the word breath goes into the spirit of the Lord. And once again, the Yahweh Shema Shai has put his spirit on you, work with you through the angels to, like obviously, there's a hierarchy, the word, Lord gives a word to Yahweh Shai, gives it to the angels, and, the angels send it down, where they need to go to man on earth. That's what I mean by that. But, he has to be working with you to, understand the scriptures. But like I said, just out of curiosity. 2 Timothy 3:16. All scripture is given by inspiration of Yahweh and is profitable for doctrine, for proof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness. And Lord has always chose men that he saw fit to give out his word. I'm going to go back to Matthew, what was it, 17? Nope, just going to look this up. It's 15, 13:55. Matthew 13:55. Because you had Yahweh Shai, Moses, that's another one I'm going to go into. They were on the scene. They were, especially Yahweh Shai was being questioned and doubted of the authority that he, I think I already have that written down, of the authority that the Lord gave him. And one thing I want to talk about or mention is how a lot of the prophets, especially with when Yahushua is on the scene, weren't what I don't want to say they weren't like prophet like, if that makes sense. Like for example, yeah, prophets, they were fishermen. I remember Brother mentioned how Luke was an artist and a physician. You had the prophets, or just ordinary men, seemingly ordinary men on the outside. And that's why, like, even now, you have 2/3 of our people that will talk shit about the men of the Lord because, the head of our camp actually mentioned this, how the prophets are seemingly everyday men who you'd walk past, and who you just walk past and not really take notice of. And what they know, there's a scripture that mentions how Yahweh Shai wasn't, he wasn't a Brad Pitt or Idris Elba. He was a seemingly ordinary looking man. What, so there is no beauty that we should desire him or something like that. And he wasn't like like a chiseled Giga Chad type of dude as far as appearance. It's Matthew 13 55, 54. When he was come to his own country, he taught them in their synagogue. They often weren't flashy. Yahushua came in riding on a donkey. It's paralleling with his past life as Solomon. But they were humble, meek, and lowly men. Weren't like you got these retards riding on horses and shit, and in fucking Power Ranger outfits. They weren't like that. They were rough, austere men. But the Lord, what the Lord sees. Let me see if I can find that. Strength in things that are weak. The foolish of the world to confound the wise. That's another one. Let me see if I can find that. I'm just gonna go to that one if I can't find this one. Uh, 1 Corinthians 1:25 or 27. 25, yeah. Because the foolishness of Yahweh was wiser than men, and the weakness of Yahweh was stronger than men. For ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. And even Moses, that's the Lord willing, that's another thing I go to. He mentioned how he wasn't an eloquent orator. He had Aaron that was talking for him. But the Lord used, he chose Moses to drown, to fuck. Well, pretty much he used Moses as, I guess you say, the apparatus. That's not a right word. A conduit, maybe, to fuck up Egypt, to take down an entire nation. And same thing, with same thing with now. The Lord is using seemingly ordinary men to do serious damage to a nation. And mind you, I'm not sure if people realize this or not, but words do have power. Now, people may discount our words because of the way we look or standing in this society, but there are power behind words, the power to influence people. You know, that's another thing. Like your politicians. What's that little big eared nigga? The inoculation master, Fauci Ouchie, that nigga. his words influenced the entire world, and he even said he made this shit up. By the way, it was bullshit. But words do have the power to influence people. They have the power to influence reality. I just want to mention that. So people think what we're saying is bullshit. It's not. The things that we're saying are happening. It says, not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. But Yahweh has chosen the foolish things out of the world. Yeah, this was it. Out of the world to confound the wise. And Yahweh has chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. Right, and the scripture talk about how it's nothing to the Lord to to give a weak man strength or a weak man riches. It's all the same with him. He can easily have a bum on the street, give him supernatural power, and have him take out the U.S. military on his own. He can do that. Or he can, have a rich nigga lose all of his money. And then have that, he could have a trading places situation happen. Verse 28, and the base thing, and the reason why I mention this why is because once again you got what's that retard vocab alone. People look to guys like that because they're uh well, excellent orators. They're seemingly, they're great speakers. Obama, right? Obama was full of shit, but people flocked to him. Why? Because he was a great speaker. He follows people because they're great speakers, because they have, their whole brand that they're building around themselves. It's flashy. What's another? They have attractive fads to draw people in. Verse 28, in the base things of the world and things which are despised hath Yahweh chosen, and were not the prophets always despised, and things which are not to bring to naught things that are, that no flesh should glory in his presence. Because what don't when you go into the Lord making a weak man strong, that man can't he can't boast himself, because he was clearly taken up into a higher estate, from the lowest state that he was in, if that makes sense. But let me see. I'm gonna go back to that. See if I had anything else there. Matthew 13:54. When he's come to his own country, he taught them in their synagogue, insomuch that they were astonished, and said, whence hath this man this wisdom and these mighty works? And his sisters, are they not all with us? Whence then hath this man all these things? And they were offended in him, but Yahushua said unto them, a prophet is not without honor, save in his own country and in his own house. And he did not many mighty works there because of their unbelief. Like what? Yahushua, he went to, him, the disciples were sent to the Gentiles. Because you had Jakes who knew they were Israelites, but they were being fucking assholes. You know what? Was Carpenter's son? Damn, I really skipped. Oh, Slocky, I can't believe I skipped that verse. Verse 55, Matthew 13:55. This is really the main thing that I wanted to get in here. Is not this the carpenter's son? Is not his mother called Mary, and his brethren James, Joseph, Simon, and Judas? And they knew him, And like what? Same thing going on now. I saw that guy, I don't know, fucking working at this job and whatnot, pushing fucking pallets or whatever the fuck. But here he is on the street corner, talking about all this stuff that we don't understand, which sounds like bullshit to us. And there's another scripture, I think it's Wisdom of Solomon, we accounted his life for madness. And there's a scripture talk about how the Lord looks on the inward man, not on the outward man. He looks on the spirit. See, the men of the Lord were always mighty in the spirit. They may be humble in the physical estate, but big in the spirit. And that's what really matters. Even when you go into like worldly and secular, like worldly niggas, right? Sure, people do judge based on looks, but depending on how how your mindset is, how you talk, how your mannerisms are, you can bypass that. Psalm 5 and 4. 2, one, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness for the face of such as has afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves. And this is what, when the elect are taken up into the ships, you're gonna have people that have been talking shit, watching. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and the proverb of reproach. We fools account his life for madness, and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children? How is his lot among the saints? Because people, the average human, you humans, the average human expects, a prophet or a saintly man to be, walking around with a fucking glow, or clean, like clean cut and shit like that, Hence why they look down on the prophets. But if you actually read the Bible, oftentimes the prophets, they weren't like they weren't walking around with fucking wings and a damn aura around them, and shit like that. Even the angels, there are times where angels look like normal men when they came down to handle business and different situations. There's also the Heliodor special when they actually came down in their angelic forms, and I don't even know what the right words to call that. Left that nigga on 1 HP, Batman style. For y'all who know about Batman, how he be beat the shit out of people. Instead of killing them, he breaks every bone in their body. But, left that nigga Heliodorus on 1 HP. 1 hit point, 1 health point. But I'm gonna go to Moses now. And this is pretty much it, I hope. Oh, that's not it. I don't want this video to be too long. But, shit, I really want to get it, but let's see here. Exodus 4. And 10. And Moses said unto the Lord, Yahweh Shemashah, Lord, my Lord, I am not eloquent, neither hitherto, nor since thou hast spoken to thy servant, but I am slow of speech and of a slow tongue. And the Lord said unto him, Who hath made man's mouth? who maketh the dumb or deaf or the seeing or the blind, have not I the Lord? Now therefore go, and I will be thy mouth, teach you what thou shalt say. And there's another scripture how meditate not on what you shall say. You know, your words are pretty much going to be given to you. Going into Jacob's trouble. And even you can say for that now. You know, in terms of preaching the word, right? Because like often, all the time, I don't want to say oftentimes, but you're making videos, the spirit, the Lord will give you different scriptures. You may have a list of scriptures, written down, but the Lord will give you a ton of more on the side, But the Lord is the one who guided Moses' mouth. He's the one who chooses, puts His Spirit in the men and guide their mouths and gives them the understanding to preach the word. You don't need a school for that. Were there school type settings? Yes, but in the way in which niggas see it now, how like what I can't believe at the end of the video, what gets perfect time, pastors, right? People look at pastors like they're holy men. Maybe now not so much because a lot of them are turning out to be getting swallowed up. When TD Jake said he was swallowed up, that nigga wasn't joking. He was dead serious. He got swallowed up and it changed his life. But like niggas like TD Jakes, what's like Joel Osteen, that's really the only two niggas. I know there's a ton more faces that pop in my head, but I don't know fuckers' names. There's some fucking gay ass Jake pastor. But people will flock. You get have mega churches, make all this money. People will flock to those niggas, thinking they're holy men because what? Because they're good speakers. But they're not led by the Spirit of Yahweh Shemashah. They don't have the actual truth. But hope that made sense. Say all praises, Lord, down to Yahweh Shemashah, Bashim Gagadash, the Bronze others, possible teacher, great Muslim, probably truth, shalom to hope like Israel instruction, battle on Great America.